The Team Corally Kagama 4 and the Team Associated Rival MT10, in my opinion, are two of the best 1/10 scale trucks you can buy. The MT10 is well known in the hobby for being one of the best 3S bashers and one of the most durable trucks ever made. Now the Kagama has come along and it's threatening to take the MT10's crown, but is it the better truck? The Team Corally Kagama 4 did get a lot of hate when I did the review video. So many people said it was too slow out the box, although I think a speed of 37 miles per hour on 4S is perfectly acceptable for a 4S basher. After seeing all the hateful comments, I do want to address some of the issues raised by some people, because I do feel the Kagama 4 is a really cool truck, and that has nothing to do with the fact that Team Corally sent it to me for free. I really like Team Corally products, and I'd like to think a lot of people who watch my channel would know by now that if I don't like a truck, or if I don't like something about a truck, I am more than happy to say. And believe it or not, but Team Corally actually welcome criticism, and if there was something I didn't like about it, I would pass that on to them, and they would actually welcome the feedback. I always see comments from people saying, you know, Team Corally must have paid you to say really nice things about the truck. That is total rubbish. I don't get any extra money for featuring their truck on my channel. Yes, the truck was free, but I have not been paid to say nice things. Now, I've been reviewing RC cars for almost 5 years, and I have noticed that when I say lots of nice things about a product, people instantly think they've paid me. Anyway, I'm not going to bang on about that. It's an ongoing problem, unfortunately, and it's kind of part of doing what I do. So today we're going to compare both trucks, and we're going to look at many different factors. It's not only about speed. Yes, we will mention speed, and we'll take a look at how fast the MT10 goes compared to the Kagama 4. We're also going to talk about durability and build quality, because I think those two things are probably the most important factors here, and they're the two main things you're looking for when you're looking for a new basher. And then of course we're also going to talk about price. So let's take a look at how fast both of these trucks go. Now we have to remember the Team Corally Kagama 4 actually weighs 4 kilos. The MT10 weighs around 2.8 kilos. So it is definitely a lot lighter than the Kagama 4. Now there is a reason the Kagama 4 is a lot heavier, and that's because it's bigger. It also features way more metal components compared to the MT10. But I think when you take a look at a direct speed comparison between the MT10 and the Kagama 4, I think you may be slightly surprised. We have to remember here the MT10 is a 3S truck. The Kagama 4 is of course a 4S truck. So you're going to be getting the best performance out of both of these trucks when they're using a 3S and a 4S pack. So starting with the MT10, let's take a look at how fast it goes on 2S. So what do we reckon, guys? I think mid-20s. I'd like to see 25 miles an hour. This is on 2S. Stop gearing. I haven't gone and got myself this truck to turn it into a speed run truck. This is going to be ideally the ultimate basher. So I'm not looking for a huge amount of speed here, but let's see what we got. Oh, it's got good strong brakes. .27 miles an hour. So moving up to 3S, let's take a look at what speed it achieved. Right, so let's see what we got on 3S. 37 miles per hour, and that is a 10 mile per hour increase over the 2S pack. So next up, let's move over to the Kagama 4. Now I actually tested the truck on 2S, 3S and 4S. Let's take a look at those speeds now. Let's start with the 2S pack first. So let's see how fast it goes on 2S. Let's start the GPS. So let's see how fast this goes on 2S. Now some people may be thinking, well, this is a bit pointless. Why are you testing a 4S truck on 2S? Well, look, let's say for example, someone's just getting into the hobby and this is their first truck. They've never driven an RC car before. This is perfectly acceptable for an absolute beginner. Yeah, it's pretty slow on 2S. But of course you can move up to 3S and 4S. There's no reason why you can't start on 2S. Right, let's see what we got on 2S. It's not going to be a lot. Hit read. 19. That isn't too bad considering that is only 2S. Now I actually think that's a perfectly acceptable speed considering how heavy this truck is on a 2S pack, on the stock gearing. I don't think that's too bad. So moving up to 3S, let's take a look at the speed test. So 3S actually feels really good. And maybe with a bigger pinion gear, 3S may be the sweet spot for a lot of people. Yeah, I like this truck a lot already. So let's hit read. 28 miles per hour. Yeah, that's not too bad considering that's a 3S in there. Moving up to 4S and let's see what speed it achieved. And we have to remember here, this is designed to be a 4S truck. 4S is, I think, going to be the most enjoyable for me. Yeah, it's quick. I like this a lot. Full throttle. Right, let's bring it back. Let's see what we got on 4S. I'd like to think we've hit 40s. Yeah, I think with the bigger pinion gear, this thing is going to be flying. Right, let's bring it back. Let's see what we got. I'm noticing the steering servo's pretty good, but that may be something I upgrade. Right, let's see what we got. So let's hit stop and read. 37 I got. So that's not too bad considering 4S straight out the box. And I think with the bigger pinion gear, 17 tooth will definitely see speeds of 45 miles per hour plus. So both trucks will reach exactly the same speed right out the box. Of course you have to use a 3S pack on the MT10 to reach that speed of 37 miles per hour, and of course a 4S pack on the Kagama 4 to reach exactly the same speed of 37 miles per hour. And yes, of course everyone's gonna say, yeah, but the MT10 can achieve exactly the same speed using only a 3S pack. Well, of course it can, because it's 1.2 kilograms lighter. There are so many factors to consider here, including weight. Next up, let's talk about build quality, because both of these trucks feature really good build quality, as you would expect from Team Associated and of course Team Corally. Now with the MT10, it's primarily made out of plastic, and we know now that plastic on RC cars isn't always a bad thing because plastic is flexible compared to metal, which is more likely to bend. Having more plastic components on a basher is probably something that's welcomed, especially if you're looking for a skate park basher. You know, you're looking for something you can throw around at your local skate park. And although I'm not really into that kind of thing, I know lots of you are. The MT10 for a very long time has been known as the best 3S skate park basher, and you really can't take that crown away from it. And even in this case, compared to the Kagama 4, I would probably say it's still the better option if you're looking to go down the skate park. And again, I do think that's primarily because it is lighter, it does have more plastic on it, and plastic does tend to be slightly more durable at skate parks. Of course the Kagama 4 does have more metal components. Of course it has that metal chassis and metal drive shafts, and even though it's a 1/10 scale truck, it's very comparable to a 1/8 scale truck when it comes to its components. Now, is the Kagama 4 fit for a skate park? Do you know what? I'm not sure it is. I still think the MT10 would be the better option. But what the Kagama 4 does offer is everyday durability. The thing is an absolute tank. You've only got to look at it and see how much effort Team Corally have gone to actually make it super durable. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it will be good at a skate park, but of course I'm not going to test that, although I have seen some channels have tested it at skate parks, and it does seem to hold up pretty well. Although if someone said to me, pick one of these trucks and go down the skate park, I think I would probably pick the MT10. Air control with the MT10 is a lot better compared to the Kagama 4. I found air control to be, yeah, not great. I'm probably going to upgrade the tyres. I think they're a little bit too firm. I'm also going to upgrade the gearing, and then I'm going to give the truck another test to see if it's any better when it comes to air control. So overall, which one does have the better build quality? Well, I've got to go with the Team Corally. I mean, I love the big bore shocks on it. I love all the metal components, and if you're not looking to do skate park stuff, this is definitely going to be the better truck. And I think when you look at both trucks side by side, you can quite clearly see the Team Corally's better build. Moving on, let's talk about price. And the MT10 used to be around £280 for us here in the UK, and at that point it was an absolute steal. Since then we've seen the version 2 and the price has obviously gone up. Now that could be due to the popularity of the truck, I'm not entirely sure. When it comes to changes in the version 2, well, there isn't really that many changes. I think there's only one major one, and that's a different body. I may be completely wrong, but I'm pretty sure the only thing they've changed is the body, and it now costs £50 more than it used to. The Kagama 4 can be picked up for around £359, so not that much more compared to the MT10, and what you're getting is a bigger truck, and in my opinion, way better build quality and components. I think when you look at what you're getting, it's pretty damn good value for the money. Finally, let's talk about parts availability. Now, I'm in the UK and I've never had any major issues getting parts for the MT10. I think there's only been one occasion where I struggled to get one part, but I looked online and I very quickly located it. I've never had to wait more than a few days for the bits that I need for the MT10. Now, when it comes to Team Corally, a couple of years ago there was a bit of a shortage of parts, and that was one of the complaints I had when I reviewed some of their older trucks. Things have now thankfully been sorted, and you can get a lot of the bits you need pretty much from any UK hobby store. I know across the world parts can still be a little bit hard to get hold of for Team Corally. Things are definitely improving, but I know there is still a shortage in some places. So both trucks are fantastic in their own way. I know loads of you are going to say the MT10 is still the king when it comes to skate parks, and you know what, I actually really agree with you, because yes, once again, it is primarily made out of plastic. It's a little bit lighter, it's more nimble, it can be thrown around a little bit easier compared to the Kagama 4 being a little bit heavier, and it honestly feels like you're driving around a tank. But what the Kagama 4 offers, in my opinion, is much better build quality compared to the MT10. It's an absolute tank and it's going to hold up to daily bashing, and I honestly think unless you're going out to absolutely abuse it, breaking it is going to be quite difficult. Let me know in the comments section what you think of today's video. Do you agree with me? Do you think the Kagama 4 is better compared to the MT10? Do you think the MT10 is better? I love having a discussion with you guys, so definitely drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts and opinions. We're going to leave the video there today. Cheers for watching, see you on the next one, take care. If you want to check out the full review that I did of the Kagama 4, click the top video now, or click the bottom video to check out my full review of the MT10.